Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I would say it's a beautiful day right now, but it really isn't. At my university, yesterday was 87 degrees outside. Beautiful. It was sunny, not a cloud in sight, right? I went fishing. I caught 13 fish. Uh, I mainly just went pan fishing. I mainly just went pan fishing for like bluegill and crappie and stuff like that because all I really had was my lightweight rod. Um, it was like the best day ever yesterday. And I wake up this morning, it's freezing, it's 40 degrees, and it's snowing. There's like an inch and a half of snow outside. So now that we're back to depressing weather, I thought we might as well hop on the Minecraft world and record another video. In the last episode, we went to the end and we got ourselves elytras. Yes, we did. We killed the Ender Dragon. It was a little bit of a hassle. Libby died. But learning process, learning process. But we ended up figuring it out and we got a bunch of good gear. Now, off camera though, I have been busy. So, if you look on top of the hill behind me, it is completely cleared off. I went ahead and cleaned it up a little bit. There was some big spruce trees here and some bamboo and other random stuff going on. And I fixed all this terrain and it used to look really ugly. And now it's all nice and smooth. I love it. I also got rid of all the petals, or at least most of them, with the water buckets. I'm glad I learned that skill before I just started breaking them all with my fists. To actually place on a water bucket for it to all just kind of flow off down the hill. But yeah, it looks much better up here. And also, if you look over there in the horizon, I cleared off this entire plateau. We can look on the map here. It used to be covered in cherry blossoms, about as dense as this, and I got rid of them all. I didn't get rid of all the petals. There's just so many, but you can actually see where the water destroyed some of the grass. Um, yeah, I got rid of it all, and it took me a very long time. I got into the second book of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and I just kind of listened to that and went ham, and yeah, now it's so much better in the background. Here is the receipt for all of the cherry wood we got and all the sticks. And here's all the petals. Oh, there's some in my inventory. Here's all the petals and leaves and stuff. In today's episode though, we are gonna get back to it. We're gonna get back to building. We're gonna build something cool today. I originally cleared off this entire plateau over here for our mega base to go right here, but not to sound too picky or anything like that, I hate this grass color. I really do. And I don't want to replace it all with moss because moss to me just looks kind of gross. So I'm not quite sure what to do. But I want grass. Like I want like a very countryside feeling, kind of like what we have over there, you know? But I don't think this is gonna cut it. So I don't know. We might hold off on the mega base for now, and maybe we'll build something else over on the main area over here. Over here, I've been wanting to build a tower, just right here. Nothing too huge. Actually, maybe we could go a little bit bigger if I fix the landscape a little bit. But just a nice tower right here to kind of have something for your eyes to look at when you're like right here in the farm, pretty much, or even back there, to be honest. So I think that'd be really cool. I feel like someone's going to mention this, probably just my conscious because nobody watches my videos. But why not build a mega base up here? And the reason for that I'm thinking is because I don't want it to take away from the farm. This is like a pretty in-depth area that I do like to walk around and explore. I'm just not quite sure if I'm ready for all the attention to be taken away from it or something right here. I don't know, maybe it'd actually help a lot. Maybe if we had something up here, it would look really cool. But I don't know. I'll think about it. I wouldn't even know what to put up here other than a castle. Yeah, we have our work cut out for us. We also have some bridges that we want to build. So if you actually look over on that plateau over there, I'll open up my map here. There's this really cool area over here that has a lot of potential. Um, but we can't really. access it, uh, we need a huge bridge. So I don't really feel like doing that right now. It's gonna be a lot. I was kind of thinking of like some huge Roman style bridge right here, like huge center columns or something like that, like kind of going down into the water right there. But that's a lot. That's dreaming big. And of course, the grass bridge over there that I made when I cleared out all the cherry blossom trees, that needs a bridge too. But that I can actually wait on a little bit because I have no idea what I want to put over there. Maybe we'll do something like a farm, like like an actual farm with crops and stuff. But other than that, I don't really have any desire to do anything over there right now. Actually, now thinking about it, we probably could do like actual crops over here because I like the color of the water on the ground. I think it looks really cool. Like it's much lighter blue versus what we have over here, which is like really deep and kind of depressing. So maybe we could do something like that. Oh, I am all over the place. um, so that actually might be cool. Maybe we'll do a huge farm over here. But yeah, I think for right now, we should probably focus on this tower right here. It's something that I kind of have the planned out the most. And I think it will look super cool right here, kind of framed by these trees. So yeah, let's gather some resources for that. I actually probably have the resources. We have so many resources uh stored in this house over here. Um so I'm gonna go put together the resources, I guess. And we'll see you guys in a second. All right, we pretty much got all the resources for this build. So for the tower itself, we're gonna do a kind of tough andesite and polished andesite uh base. That's probably gonna go to about right here in height. And then we're gonna do spruce and packed mud on top of that. And then for the very top, for the roof, we're going to do some black stone, fading into smooth basalt, and maybe even like stone or something lighter when you get to the very, very top. The reason for this kind of like very specific palette is because I want it to be very bright, like looking right here, but I want it to kind of be a little darker up top so your eyes aren't going like right up to the top. They're kind of going right here, keeping your like whole field of view still at the farm. I also think we are going to do a tree right here. I think that'll look really good, kind of coming from right here, seeing like the tower poke right behind the tree that's going to be right here, and having a nice picture frame going on right here. And of course, I have some grass and dirt to fix the terrain right here. We're going to have the terrain come out to just about right here, maybe even a little bit further. And the tower will kind of be just directly in the middle of all of that, maybe closer to this edge over here. I don't have the resources for the tree or like any flowers yet, just because I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I might have the path come up through like a very dense flower garden that's kind of all along right here. Uh, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the path when we come up here. I might go back down this way, go over there. I might go over here and maybe set myself up for a bridge. I'm not quite sure. So we're gonna figure that out, but I pretty much have the tower set up. So yeah, we're gonna get the terrain done and get started. All right, we are coming along on the tower. I kind of just I was pretty busy today. I had an interview and stuff. But I just kind of came on here real quick to get it pretty much done, just the foundation, and it's looking pretty good. There are some details I want to add. The door isn't done yet, and I'm already starting to add like the bushes around it and stuff. But I think this angle from over here looks pretty good. Um, the lighting it's throwing me off a little bit. I'm just not used to building with like vibrant blocks like that. Um, but I'm kind of experimenting with it. I'm kind of seeing uh how it works and stuff. I have no idea where this guy came from. I saw him earlier with without any llamas, and I don't know if he just I don't know if they can spawn without any llamas or what, but yeah, back to what I was saying. I'm really struggling with kind of the vibrant blocks over here. It's a little bit harsh of lighting, but I don't know. When I squint, it looks really good. So we might keep it like that, and in the future, I might come back and change it. I ended up actually using way more blocks for this than I thought. Uh, I originally planned for like like maybe like 3 or 4 different blocks, kind of mix up in between here. No, there's like 8, I think. There's calcite, bone, quartz, diorite, gravel, smooth stone, polished andesite, polished tuff, regular tuff. There's the pale moss. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but I think I did pretty good. This little section right here, I'm gonna do a little bit more details on, and the roof, I don't really know what to do about that, just because I mean I could go and get like some fancy blocks and make like a really cool roof out of it. Um, but I don't know. When I keep looking at this build, my eyes are not going up here at all. So I might just keep it like that. I also considered windows throughout here, like along the sides, but the interior, I have no plan for quite yet. I'm not sure what I want to do with this entire building, to be honest. Uh, so I might kind of do the interior, then figure out the windows, or at least like the floors, you know? Yeah, this angle right here isn't working for me that well. I think I need something a little bit lighter going on right here. It's just like I don't know what's up with the lighting. Even when the sun sets, right here just is so dark. I mean, I could potentially add a tree right here that kind of blocks off the view, like from specifically right there. Because over here, I'd still be able to see it with the tree right there. I don't know. As far as this angle over here, I think it looks fine. You know, I think it looks pretty much good enough. I can't really tell uh, that much from over there because this ups the gamma a lot in FreeCam. So I don't really know how it looks without the gamma turned all the way up. But we'll see. I'm probably gonna put a tree right here anyway. So it sounds like I'm just blocking the entire tower with trees. I promise you, I'm not. I I don't know. Towers are so hard to do because it's either you add windows in them or you like have to deal with them being really flat. I could have added like a foundation down here and then the tower on top. It's just so when originally this tower was about 10 blocks taller, the roof came up a lot and it looked so bad. It looked horrible. It just looked like a sore thumb right here. It made everything around here feel exponentially small. And I already feel like when walking through here, this does make a lot of around here small already. So I don't know. I don't know. I think this angle right here works really well too. It doesn't make it feel as insignificant down here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep working though. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna get the foliage done around it. Probably not gonna start the trees until the next update, and hopefully find something to do with like this flatness going on. Also, in the rare chance that you're watching this video and you're thinking, "Wow, he's really naturally talented at building." No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I, I, I just build stupid things and fix them. To be honest, look at this. Oh Lord! Wow, that's that's bad. It's all part of the process, y'all. It's all part of the process. So the tower's pretty much completely done. Um, I know like this entire area isn't, but honestly, like as I keep looking over at that whole plateau over there, I just keep thinking the bridge would look perfect if it just came head on right here. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put the bridge literally smack dab right here. I added 3 more trees, I think. 1, 2, yeah, 3. Yeah. I don't know how I'm losing count of 3 trees, but 3 trees. Added 3 more. And they offer some really good like frames for this entire tower. Like back here where I started. Beautiful, beautiful. But coming around this corner right here and then like coming underneath this branch, it's really cool to like look up at. It looks almost a little menacing, but I don't know, I like it. The interior is not done, but I did put the staircase going up. to the very top, which there is actual like functional room up here. I just don't really know what to do with it. Uh, Maybe I'll do like an enchantment table up here or something like that. I'm not sure. And coming down here, of course, we have the coolest shot of just this whole light splotch going on right here. Yeah, that's nice. With the frogs jumping at like the bottom of the screen, that's cool. I think back here as well provides a pretty good shot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I started using this moss with the moss carpet and the leaves in the ground. I got that from the YouTuber B-Dubs. Um, he puts like these. I didn't put it over here. He puts leaves in the ground, and it kind of adds like a cool contrast to the ground. I mean, you don't really notice it's transparent. You know, it looks pitch black. It looks like there's just leaves and there's shadows right underneath the leaf. Um, so it doesn't really like come off as wow, there's a block of leaves in the ground. It comes off as like these leaves fell off from the tree onto the ground, which I think adds like a really good touch. And I think the prettiest leaves that fall on the ground, like in the fall or whatever, are the leaves that are like orange or the color of the tree when they like fall off, you know? Like when they get like brown and crusty and gross looking. I don't know, it's a little depressing, but with a little bit of fantasy, you can imagine the leaves kind of just falling off the ground and staying alive on the ground and staying green. But yeah, I really like how this came out as a whole. I think it did pretty good. Again, this whole area I know could use so much work, but I think the path could definitely come off this way, and how the path is shaped right here, it could go head on into the giant bridge that I want to hopefully build right here. For the rest of this episode, though, I think I kind of just want to do some smaller things around the general farm area. Like I keep looking at the barn, and I think it could use a few details, like right here on the sides of the walls. We have a giant blank area right here that we could do something with. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the previous video. I wanted to build like a cave for the polar bears and pandas to actually go down into, um, and like have it like covered in snow and stuff like that. Because obviously I don't want snow on the surface, but if I can give them their own little underground enclosure where they can kind of burrow up in their snow, then that made me feel a little bit better. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start off with that, and then I'll do some of the details on the surrounding areas. And yeah, okay, I'm currently underneath the polar bears. They're right up there. um, so we're just gonna do something kind of small. I don't want to go crazy down here. I've genuinely never built like a snow cave before, so I'm kind of just freeballing it. Okay, I mean, I think this looks fine. I don't know. I never done this before. I put a torch like back here. I don't like it though. I mean, I think this is fine. You know, it gives them somewhere to come and enjoy the snow. You are so tiny. Oh my gosh. That is the smallest panda I've ever seen in my life. His little feet are stuck in the snow. Look at that. I also put bamboo up here because, you know, pandas and stuff. Even though I think they like the cave more than the polar bears do. Oh, the rain scared them away. I keep thinking about what to do with the barn, and honestly, I don't have anything. Most barns in real life don't really have much going on anyways. Like the real thing that we're missing right here would be the door, you know, like the door opening up or the barn door sliding out, you know. And I that's not really a thing we can achieve with this unless we go bigger with the barn, I guess. I don't know. So I don't exactly know what we could do for details. So maybe we just put a tree right there? I don't know. But I have some resources for it. There we go. Yeah, I could do this. I never really talk about my strategy when building these trees, because there really isn't one. I don't have a strategy for building them. I kind of just go do the thing. I've watched plenty of videos on like how to build good trees in Minecraft. They don't really help me. I'll be completely honest. Is that too close? I think it's fine. Yeah, they don't really help me. I kind of just do my own thing. So since these trees are such like small scale, I don't really like go along most rules when building trees. Like I don't make the branches thinner as I go up top or anything like that because there really aren't branches. It's just slabs, you know? But I do use these like kind of little stubs on the side for where the leaves go. As I did over here where I kind of just like splotch some leaves on there. I don't even know if splotch is a word, but I kind of just throw some leaves on there and it just kind of clusters up and makes this tree look way more full. And then up top is kind of where you get like the more pokiness of the tree. Can you tell? Can you tell I know about my trees? Up top is where you get like the pokiness of like what I did over there. Um, and you know, I would think logically that would need more coverage to support it. So I build bigger branches. Yeah, I'm very scientific about this. I could definitely be a ecologist. I made these trees a little different than the ones I did over there, though. I just used less leaves. That's really it. I kind of like the way you're able to see through the leaves over here. Um, so I wanted that more because right here is just really dense. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we place leaves and hope it turns out good. And then once I'm done placing the leaves, I step back, I say, wow, that looks really bad, and I go back and I change something. Depending on how bad it is, depends on what I change. In this case, this entire side is very bare, and I think this whole area could use something. Um, so we're gonna go scavenge for more diorite and add something to it. And then I step back once again, I look at it, and I say, yeah, it's a tree. For this path around here, I'm gonna try to make it just feel more narrow, I guess. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of what I'm dealing with and what I kind of went overkill with when I first built this whole farm area was negative space. Um, Negative space, like, it's just really hard to get right, you know? Sometimes you, like, have a formula to how to make it look good, but then you use too much of that formula and you're like, all right, let's change it up a little bit, you know? I feel like I kind of did that here. And yeah, this just brought the whole area together. I mean, the tree, it makes it feel like there's kind of somewhere more guided to walk through. Like right here, which is kind of like a courtyard, you know? And most farms do have like just a bunch of just empty space in front of like the barn, you know? And it makes sense, you know? You're constantly bringing in the trailer in and out of the barn, or you got horses in there and whatever's going on, you know? And you don't want anything to hit when you're coming out. But I don't know, this kind of just gives it more, like it frames everything, you know? It frames this tree right there, and when looking at it from right here, it actually frames the barn and you can look through it. It looks really cool. And this shot of the tower might be my new favorite. I mean, look at that. Like walking, coming from right here, walking this way and looking at the tower as you pass through. Coming back through and you got sheep over here. Like there's just so much to look at, you know? And I really like that. Yeah, look at this shot right here. Look at that. Wow. I will say though, I'm not a big fan of the cherry blossoms in the background of this. I don't like it. I don't. It's just too bright. And I think what I need behind these trees and what I need behind all of this going on is just straight grass. Like that right there, you know? That one acacia tree though looks really cool. It does, just like the one tree atop of the hill over there. Yeah, so you could probably guess what I'm actually gonna do for the rest of the video now. Take it in while you can. It'll all be gone soon. One concern that Libby mentioned about cutting down all the trees over here, though, that if someone watched this video probably could figure out, the cherry blossom wood, as it fades into it down here, it wouldn't make sense anymore if there's no cherry blossoms over here. And that's a valid concern. My response is I will build custom cherry blossom trees. I don't care. I just don't want these. I think these are a little noisy and a little much, and these leaves aren't even. I mean, they're pretty full, but you can work with that. You know, like you can make these a lot thinner. So that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably do like 1, 2, 3 trees over here that are cherry blossoms. So it still does make sense for it to fade into that pink, how she likes it. But other than that, all these trees are probably gonna go. But yeah, so I'm gonna turn on an audiobook and get chopping. Alright, that's more like it. So I took out all the trees, pretty much in this general area, and I moved up this way. I didn't get the petals, and there's a good reason for that. And it's a mistake that I made when doing over here. If you notice how choppy this land is, it's like pretty bad. Like there's holes everywhere and stuff like that. That's how this land was before. And I spent so long using a water bucket to get rid of all the petals and stuff like that, even though I had to break the land to fix it anyways. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to terraform it one day and all this will look better. As far as all the wood I got from doing all that, well, there is one shulker box here, pretty much. There's one more large chest, and all of this too. I can't remember what was full before, but this is now full, and this is almost full. Here's that. Got a few more sticks and some bamboo. This is completely full with sticks. And this is full of the cherry saplings, plus some in my backpack. I've been thinking about what to do with this land, and I honestly have no clue. And that's kind of why it's not terraformed right now. I don't really know where I want to put stuff. There's a lot of possibility for like cool paths and stuff like that to kind of wind through. Like I was looking right here, it'd be cool to have a path go along kind of this cliff edge right here, up over and then all the way around. And also there's a little valley back there. It'd be cool to have a path that goes straight back there. So I don't know, but kind of planning out a huge uh like plateau like this or section of plateau, um it requires some planning about how everything's gonna be laid out. That's what we did over here, and planning out like where the paths are gonna go, and then what can we put in the middle of everything. I've mentioned wanting to have like crops, like a field of like wheat or uh what are the other crops? Carrots, potatoes, beetroots, all that stuff. Um, I don't know about beetroots. Beetroots suck, but having like a field of those, I'm not quite sure though. But what I do know is we've done a lot this episode, and that's probably going to be it for today. We built a whole tower, built a whole tower, um, and it looks really good. From this angle right here, oh my gosh, I love it. From all these angles, really, looks really cool to look at. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and despite not really doing much to the terrain around it, it does blend in with the ground a lot. Like it feels very connected to the ground, which is kind of what I was aiming for. We also got these trees right here, and I started using these leaf blocks in the ground, which I think looks really cool. Like walking up right here, oh, that just feels so cool. And of course, being able to look at it without those ugly trees in the background is everything. Look at that. Yeah, if you made it to the end of the episode, well, thank you so much for watching. I don't really have many of those people that watch these videos, but thank you for watching. Um, I have been trying to upload more frequently, but school has been kicking my butt, so I'm trying to focus on that. But I'm also trying to build a cool world here. So life's about balance. I'm trying to balance myself out and balance schoolwork and yeah, my life pretty much. But yeah, if you did tune in, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.